Hey YouTube, Rocks97 here, coming at you with the Frog Monarch build I played at the Fort Worth Regional. I was able to come in top 8 and get this awesome map. I love this map. So much better than the other one. So yeah, I'm going to do a tournament report thing at the end, but until then, we'll just get with the deck profile. 3 Kais, obviously you have to play 3 Kais. It's the staple Monarch. 3 Ryza, also really good. I bumped it back up to 3 because I was playing like 2 Vanities over it, and I don't really like Vanities in the main deck right now because the decks it's really good against. They don't play traps, but the decks it's semi-good against like windups. They play so many traps, and just Deep Prison's so big this format, and there's 2 Mirror Force, 2 Torrent. I just don't think it's consistent enough to play in the main deck. So I put a 3rd Rise over it and added a Dark Dust Spirit. This card is still really good. I did play an Inzektor, so he came in real handy. And he's just good against things like agents and things that summon a bunch of big monsters and have no like recurrence after them. This thing gets rid of Fortress, so just gets rid of Fortress, and that's a big thing. It's really helpful against Gear Guy, Karakuri, and Mechanic Gadgets and stuff like that. Got the Boss Monster. 3 Lad. This is the most broken card, or broken monster in the deck. No, I lied. Okay, it's the most broken tribute in the deck. It just takes them down their resources. It's really good because it's just a +4 and it gets something back. And there's the main play of this deck is first turn Lad. I call it Frog Monarchs, but I usually play it into a Lad spam deck. So yeah. The most broken monster in the deck now, Triple Swap Frog. He just fills your grave. Blech. So many good plays with him. It's ridiculous. You just have to play this card at 3. And I also play Triple Dupe. You have to get to the Swap Frog. This just adds consistency and is just gets you to the Swap Frog. It's Ronin food. 2 Treeborn. Obviously, get your Monarchs out. 1 Ronin. I was playing 2 of this before, but I dropped it down to 1 because I was putting 2 Fader. That's a bad idea. Don't do it. 1 Gores, staple. Double Trag. I like this card better than Gores. I think it's better than Gores in this deck because you drop Trag and he's 3k in this deck. If you're playing the deck right, you always have that many cards in hand, unless your hand was completely frogs and you just wanted to dump them all. But he comes out 3k, he's 36 next turn. He's just really big and causes problems. He wins games by himself. Triple Fader, stall, and it's really good in time, and it's just tribute fodder, protect yourself. 2 Veiler. Yeah, you just play Veiler at 2. Sengen, Searcher Frogs, Veilers, Battle Fader. On his spells, 2 Duality. You need this to get your Frog Engine and like Battle Faders and your Monarchs. It's just really good in this deck. The best spell in the deck, 3 Soul Exchange. This card is so broken, like so ridiculous. It gets over Zenmain, Stardust, cards like that, Maestro, Gotchi, and it gets over stupid cards like Christia, Fossil Dyna, Vanity's Fiend, and Shockmaster, because most of the time Shockmaster calls monster effects against this deck because it's mostly monsters, and Soul Exchange is just a big out to that. 2 Econ. A lot of people consider this to be the most broken spell. I disagree. It just sometimes it is, but I like Soul Exchange better. 2 MST, Heavy, Dark Hole, Reborn, Staples. Yeah, you play Staples. Extra deck. The only thing I ever went into was the Triple Gotchi. It's the only thing I went into all day. And I didn't even go into 3 of them. 2 was max. Usually I go into my extra deck a little more, but wow, it just got dark. A little more, but not this time. So Bouncer, Swordbreaker, Exabeetle, Utopia Ray, Guy Dragon, Formula, Catastor, Gaia Knight, Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Dark End because I wanted to play 15 cards, and Black Rose, and Bad Looking Token. So side deck, I'll go through this really fast because, yeah, 2 Vanity's Fiend for Heretics and Chaos Dragons. It won me both my Heretic matchups because I played 2 and I was just wondering why I played them. 2 Maxis for windups, which I didn't play. I also side this in for Heretics, and though 2 Gemini Imps. Oh my gosh, for my Dark World matchup. If I didn't have this, I would have lost that matchup. Gemini Imps is a really good card. 2 Electric Virus and 2 Puppet Plant. Do like the same thing for different decks. Back Row Hate, Mobius, 2 No Men of Extermination, an MST, and a Dust Tornado. Dust Tornado actually won me a game because it hit macro, and that was really cool. So, tournament report. First round, I played X Sabers. I 2-0'd it. The guy I played was really cool, and it was not an easy matchup because X Sabers they just go off, and it's sometimes the deck gets too crazy, and Frog Monarchs kind of suffer from decks that get really crazy. He did Gotham Salute me, but I was able to draw Kaius, so that was all good. Second game, Heretics. Yeah, Vanity's Fiend won me that game. It was really hard. First game I got sacked. He opened the nuts. Second game, Vanity's Fiend won me that. Third game, Vanity's Fiend won me that, and it was just, yeah, Vanity's Fiend made it easy. Third round, Heroes. This deck does not have a problem with Heroes at all. It's really good against Heroes. Yeah. Fourth round, Inzectors. I don't care what format it is, Inzectors seem to be a really hard matchup for this deck. I won, but Inzectors are the bane of this deck's existence because they're like mini Dark Arms. And but I was able to win because of Dark Dust. So, fifth round, Gear Guy. I lost. It was my only loss. He was really open the nuts. And then after that, after he beat me, he was 5-0. He lost the next 4 and dropped. Like, why? Sixth round, Heretics. Vanity's Fiend again. Seventh round, Chaos Stun. Fossil Dyna. He summoned 3 of them one game. First game, he opened BLS and Chaos Sorcerer, and I just lost that game. Second game, he opened 2 Fossil Dyna. I soul exchanged both of them. Third round, same thing. He opened Fossil Dyna, and I soul exchange it. That's why soul exchange is just God. It's just so good. Eighth round, Dark World. This match was ridiculously insane. All I know is Gemini Imps won it to me because he had a Zedmains, 2 Grapha, and a Torguide face-up defense. And we were in time, and I was at 6,600 because he attacked directly with the Brow. I had a Gorz and Grave, Econ and Reborn in hand, and MST. He had 2 set back row. I MST'd. I blind MST'd. Luckily, I hit the warning. Monster Reborn, Gorz, Econ, take Torguide to defense, and then attacked it. And then I was left with like Treeborn and Ronin Totem. So he clears my board and then attacks for 15, which in time that would be game. But I dropped Fader, and yeah, it was just really good. Ninth round, Gear Guy, Machina stuff. Yeah, that game was really hard. He was a really good player. First game, he opened really bad. You could tell because his first drop was Fortress. He dropped Fortress first turn, and it was just I knew he had a bad hand, so I went Lad, and it was just game from there. Second game, he got too much advantage off the gadgets. I could do nothing about it, or in the Gear Guys and whatnot. And then ninth round, the blah blah. I said ninth round, but I meant round 3. It was a really hard grind game. He opened Macro and 2 Gozens. He didn't open with Macro and 2 Gozens. He used them, and I had like, it was so hard to get around those, but I was able to get around it and win because we were in time and I had more life points. So I had a Trag face up defense 3,000, and I was just gonna sit there for time and let that thing stall. But I drew an Econ, and I had Kaius in hand, and all he had was a Shock Master with no materials and a Fortress equipped with Gear Frame. I just took I tributed Trag, took the Fortress, tributed it for Kaius, hit the Shock Master, attacked, and then he drew, could do nothing about it, so I won. So my final record was 8-1. It was a good day, it was really fun, and I had a blast, and yeah, any questions you can comment down below, don't forget to subscribe. This was URX97, bye YouTube.